You guys, we have Maria back with us today. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Heidi, for having me. You're amazing.
For those of you who are new or haven't had the pleasure of watching our interviews with Maria yet, Maria is a lawyer here in Portugal, helping a lot of people with visas, residencies, getting citizenships here, and also being our middleman for understanding the crypto laws in
taxes,
Portugal.
Property acquisition, and so on. Yes, very important. Thank you, Heidi.
Yeah. So we have an expert here. We're going to go over maybe like the top 5 things basically that is misunderstood, or that the details that you need to know for the crypto tax laws. If you're living in Portugal, if you're thinking of living in Portugal, you're investing in crypto, this is what you need to know.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, it's very important to understand what do they consider crypto assets. So when they did the law, they call it crypto actives, which is a Portuguese word, crypto ativos. For you that speak English, it's crypto assets. We couldn't find a better word, right?
Yeah.
So what they say, they refer them as a whole. So it's like NFTs, stable coins, cryptocurrency, security tokens, and utility tokens. All of these are the crypto activos, your crypto assets. So when in the other articles they refer as your crypto assets, it's all of this. Okay. You have to have that in mind. Because I think people are thinking, oh, if I sell Ethereum to Bitcoin, it starts counting. No. Let's talk about crypto actives first. So this is very important, okay? Crypto assets, NFTs, security tokens, utility tokens, commodities, stable tokens. Okay? That's the first thing. Very important. The second thing to have in mind is that what is a taxable event? Yes. This is really important. So it came out that a taxable event is when you sell a token to another token, and if you hold it for less than a year, you have to pay taxes. That's not the case, because remember, it's not about tokens. It's the crypto assets.
They're all the same. Whether you're trading it for one another, it's all the same quality.
And why did they do this? They did this to protect money laundering. So it's only when you sell to your bank account. It's not when you sell Bitcoin to USDT or USDC. No. Or you sell to Euro, but you didn't send to the bank account. What's the purpose of that? You only declare it when you send to the bank account, because the government wants to know where did those funds came from. It's for money laundering purposes. Remember I told you in the last video, Portugal loves crypto holders, right?
Yeah.
So they are not after us. No, that's not the case. This is a protection for money laundering. So if that's the case, they want to know where did those millions that you gain in crypto that you sent to the bank account, where did they came from? Legit question.
Yeah.
Before you couldn't prove it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, well, we only know the real form, how to declare that in 2024 when we do our taxes.
So you don't even know what the form is like?
No, it doesn't exist now, because nowadays we don't have a way to do that, because who does taxes in 2023 in April is about the year of 2022. So we're not going to declare any of those transactions. Okay. In April of 2024, we are going to declare what? When we talk about crypto assets, all those assets that we had in crypto, NFTs, commodities, security tokens, all of those 5 we spoke about, that we sold and sent to the bank account, that we cashed out.
So you don't have to declare everything you're holding.
No,
it's just what you sold.
Only what you sent to the bank account. Okay. There you go. So you sent to the bank account, okay, there's a transaction there, money going to the bank account. I'm going to put it on my G appendix, on my tax returns, on the G form. I'm going to write, I sent 2 million to my bank account. Let's be positive.
There's going to be a bull market in 2024, guys.
Okay. So I sent 2 million to my bank account. Oh, Maria, of what? Oh, of crypto actives in Portuguese. Crypto assets that I bought a year ago. I hold it and I sold. Oh, Maria, thank you.
Yeah.
0 taxes for you.
Yeah.
If you say, Maria, how are they going to check? Remember, we're in Portugal. They are not. Only if you are a random audit. Because right now we don't have the form, but what the government is saying, we're not going to even put an address. Like I said before, for you
like your wallet address to prove you've been holding it for a year. I see.
It's all about your statement. Like I told you before, you're from the US, you were born in the US. For you have such a complex tax regime. It's very difficult for you to get out of that zone and enter in a security zone, which is Portugal, where your word is so important. The statement that you give, we call it the statement of honor, is so important. That's valid for what it is. So when I do my tax returns, my word means everything. So I said I hold it for a year. I hold it for a year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do an audit, a random one. And I say, Maria, please show me that you hold it for a year.
Yeah.
Okay? Maria gives the address. Maria didn't hold it for a year.
Okay.
Maria.
Naughty
Maria. Okay.
Your honor.
Maria. Oh, oops. I did a mistake. I did a mistake. No worries. You're going to pay a fine of 125 euros. Not thousands, euros.
Okay.
125 euros to resubmit your tax returns of that year again. And they say, please don't do it again. Okay, I'll have more attention next time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's
but
it.
if you're not holding crypto for a year, the profit that you did make is taxed 28%.
Okay. If you didn't hold for more than a year for some reason, which is quite difficult, because remember, guys, it's not that you had that NFT, you sold it, it never went to the bank account, you sold it, you bought Bitcoin, then you decide, no, I'm going to put Cardano, Ethereum. That doesn't matter. It's all crypto actives, crypto assets.
Okay.
Then they never change from crypto up. But if you say, like my clients sometimes ask, oh, Maria, I got so stressed at the end of the year that I got all my crypto.
Oh my gosh. And sold it?
I sold it to euros, left it in the exchange. And then I didn't send to the bank account. January came. I bought it all over again. No. Okay. Then you ask, Maria, okay, to be like black on white, euros on the exchange is not a crypto asset.
Yeah. It's the same concept as doing it to the bank, basically.
Are you going to declare it? No, because he didn't send to the bank account. But is it counting for the year? My God, no. Let's be honest here. It stopped being a crypto asset and started being fiat.
Okay.
Although he didn't send it. The only difference is because he didn't send to the bank account, he doesn't have to declare it. He enter again, it starts counting.
Yeah.
But you only declare if he had cash out, and he didn't, so he doesn't have to declare anything.
Okay. So it's basically if you've had exposure to crypto within a year that you're sending it to fiat. Doesn't matter if it was Bitcoin or Ethereum or doing trades.
No, because
that,
they call it
basically.
crypto assets, remember?
Yeah, it's all the
and
same
they say
thing.
these 5 things are crypto assets. Whatever you do with them, the rules, all the rules that come after is for these 5 assets.
Okay.
Okay?
So crypto to crypto trades are not taxed.
No, you don't declare them because you don't declare the crypto that you hold.
Yeah.
If you did, then in the year of 2022, I hold Bitcoin. Oh, but in the year of 2023, you have Ethereum. What happened here? Right? But we don't have that.
Okay.
It's only when you
Crypto
send
is
to the
crypto.
bank account.
Okay.
This guy, he sold to euro. He's not going to declare it because it never went to the bank account.
And that's the difference between this tax law in Portugal versus in Germany. A lot of people are saying, oh, Portugal copied it.
No, it didn't.
Because it's not the same requirements for reporting.
No, because you don't declare what you hold.
Yeah.
We don't care what you hold. We don't care what we have. This is only money laundering purposes. And for us, that's why I said in the last video, and people didn't understand what I wanted to say, when I said, for us, crypto holders, this is positive. Because it was like we are in the underground, right?
You didn't know what to expect.
Nobody know where the money came from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now they do, because if you sell,
That's true.
You cash out, declare it. Because many clients of mine that moved to Portugal because crypto wasn't taxable in Portugal, they say, Maria, but I want to send the money to my country. They're going to ask where did this money came from, and I don't have tax returns to prove it.
And now you do.
And now you do.
Yeah. It is great. And
just hold it in a form of crypto asset.
And quite
NFT.
frankly, holding it for a year is very easy, especially if you're holding through a bear market. Yeah. So I have a feeling this might
For
be
example,
developing in the future a little bit, but
not so, because the stock market, it's just like that.
the same?
You just, instead of, nobody wants to know the thousands of transactions you did. We don't
Yeah.
have time for that here in
Yeah.
Portugal. We don't want to know.
Yeah.
We just want you to tell us, okay, in those thousands of transactions you did, what's the capital gains? Declare them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, so they're not hiring 80,000 new tax employees like
No.
the IRS. Interesting. Okay.
So that's for point number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, now, for example, people ask, Maria, what about mining and so on? So mining and other forms of issuing cryptocurrencies or NFTs or crypto assets. Let's call them crypto assets because in the law they call it crypto activos.
Okay.
Okay? So any form of issuing these crypto assets, you have to declare them on your category B. And then there's 2 differences. In Portugal, in the category B, you can either do a simple tax return where you do it yourself, or it's called simplified tax return, or you can have an organized tax return.
Okay.
So if you do a simple tax return, it's for those who had income or, in this case, earnings from those issuings of cryptocurrency less than 200,000 in that year.
Okay.
So if they had less than 200,000 in that year issuing those kind of crypto assets, they would pay 15% in IRS.
Okay.
But remember, IRS has deductions. You can do all your IRS together, like income, renting, everything. You can choose by doing all together. We call it englobamento in Portugal, which I immediately translated to englobement. That doesn't exist.
It sounds like a blood issue, like a health problem.
Or you can do your tax returns choosing the
Keeping them separate.
organized tax regime for those who issue and had earnings of more than 200,000. And for those, there's deductions. For example, I told you already, when you go to the restaurant, people ask you, oh, do you want to put your tax number?
The tax number, yeah.
That's for deductions. If you put them everywhere, grocery.
Really?
Yeah.
It's tax deductible if you go to the
Everywhere.
grocery store.
It has a limit, but you should
Oh.
use it all the time.
I thought they just want to know how much money I'm spending all these places.
They want to do a little of Big Brother, but that's why the deductions exist.
Yeah, and it's voluntary. So
There you
it's
go.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one, again, the third. Then people talk about, Maria, they are also talking about when I trade, I pay 4% stamp tax.
Yeah.
No. We addressed this in the last video. I don't know if you recall. So what they say is those exchanges that have their domiciled in Portugal, the headquarters address is in Portugal, those exchanges that you pay commissions when you trade.
The trading fees, yeah.
The trading fees. Those exchanges will pay 4% of the commissions.
Yeah.
The fees.
Yeah.
Not us.
They might pass it down to you, but
Yeah,
it's
but
nothing that you have to be responsible of
But
paying
it's
or
4% of
reporting.
the commission, not the trading itself.
Yeah. It's 4% of the already 0.05% trading fee. So it's minuscule.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the exchange is the one that pays for that.
And it needs to be in Portugal, the headquarters.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Binance didn't came, right? They were supposed to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were taking care of, they were moving to Portugal. Now I never heard about that anymore. So now I don't know. So, again.
Could have been a CZ's neighbor.
See, why not?
Can you imagine?
Yeah. So, if you sell it for more, you hold it for more than a year, which is very easy, remember, is crypto assets, not crypto tokens. Crypto assets. It's not token to token. Crypto assets. It's very easy to change them, put in stablecoin.
Yeah.
You addressed that on a Monday.
I did, yeah. Because but it's better coming from someone who's a legal expert that can understand the Portuguese law. We talked about it too, but I'm glad that you can back me up. So thank you.
Yeah, amazing. So I think it's quite easy. I think it's positive. I cannot address this more. It is positive.
Yeah, it's
it
tax-free if you hold it for a year. It's not long-term capital gains where it's 10%.
And then you declare it.
Freaking tax-free, and so it's great.
Yeah.
So no more boogeyman.
No.
Come on to Portugal for crypto tax.
And if you have any more questions that I'm sure we didn't address it here, I'm sure Heidi will be happy to address them all.
Again. Yeah. So let us know in the comments what you guys are thinking. What isn't perfectly clear. We can try to reply back to your comment also. And if there's enough attention to it, we'll do a new video too.
And I hope this helped.
I think so.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks,
you for
guys.
having me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ciao, guys. Bye.